The isolation of Ravens Peak nestled deep within the Appalachian Mountains. Ravens Peak was a place of eerie beauty. The trees towered above, their branches twisted and gnarled with age. The wind whispered through the leaves, creating an unsettling melody that seemed to follow you wherever you went. Dr. Emma Taylor, a renowned psychologist, had chosen Ravens Peak as the perfect location for her new research facility. The isolation would allow her patients to focus on their recovery, away from the distractions of the outside world. The facility, dubbed the Sanctuary, was a state-of-the-art complex, equipped with the latest technology and staffed by a team of experts. Emma had hand-picked each member of her team, carefully selecting individuals who shared her passion for helping others. As the first patients began to arrive, Emma felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. She was convinced that the sanctuary would be a place of healing, where people could come to confront their demons and emerge stronger, healthier, and happier. But from the very beginning, strange things began to happen. Equipment would malfunction, and strange noises could be heard in the night. Emma dismissed it as the usual creaks and groans of an old building. But as time went on, the occurrences grew more frequent and more intense. One patient, a young woman named Sarah, reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the corners of her room. Emma was skeptical, but as she delved deeper into Sarah's psyche, she began to realize that the woman's fears were not entirely unfounded. It started with small things. A door would slam shut on its own, or a faint whispering could be heard in the vents. But as the days passed, the events grew more brazen, more menacing. Emma's team was on edge, and the patients were growing increasingly paranoid. It was as if something was watching them, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. One night, Emma woke to the sound of screams. She rushed to the source of the noise, her heart pounding in her chest. When she arrived, she found one of her patients, a man named Jake, curled up on the floor, his eyes wide with terror. "What's wrong, Jake?" Emma asked, trying to keep her voice calm. Jake's eyes locked onto hers, and he whispered, "It's coming for us. It's coming for us all." Emma tried to reassure him, but as she looked around the room, she realized that something was indeed amiss. The air seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly energy, and the shadows seemed to twist and writhe on the walls. It was then that Emma knew she had made a terrible mistake. Ravens Peak was not a place of healing. It was a place of darkness, a place where the very fabric of reality seemed to unravel. As the night wore on, the occurrences grew more intense, more frequent. It was as if something was building, something ancient and malevolent. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, everything stopped. The screams ceased, the equipment stopped malfunctioning, and the shadows retreated back into the darkness. The silence was oppressive, heavy with an unspoken menace. Emma knew that she had to get her patients out of there, to escape the clutches of whatever evil force had taken hold of Ravens Peak. But as she turned to flee, she realized that it was too late. The darkness had already consumed them, and they were trapped, forever bound to the isolation of Ravens Peak. The next morning, the police found Emma's car, abandoned on the side of the road. The engine was still running, the headlights still shining, but there was no sign of Emma or her patients. The sanctuary was found abandoned, the doors wide open, the windows shattered. But as the police explored the ruins, they realized that something was terribly wrong. The walls were covered in strange symbols, etched into the wood in a language that no one could understand. And in the center of the room, a single message was scrawled in blood. They should not have come here. The police never found Emma or her patients. The sanctuary was left to rot, a haunted monument to the horrors that had taken place within its walls, and Raven's Peak remained, a place of dark legend, a place where the brave and the foolhardy went to confront the unknown. But be warned, if you ever find yourself in those woods, beware the isolation of Raven's Peak, for in that place terror reigns supreme, and the darkness will consume you whole.